And now, for our feature presentation, Cult of
Not sure if you remember our chat on Wednesday, but I'm going away Monday to Tuesday with the wife. Been working like a madman and I need a break. Does the offer stand? Would you do the open this week?
This one time I was supposed to be playing soccer with my slob friends, my pedophile coach, but instead I was partying with some chicks. And this dude said, "You're cool." And I was like, "I know, man." And then our gay friend said, "Dude, you got a soccer game." So I got there, late as fuck. My team's getting pounded in the ass by the red and blue team, but I gotta smoke some weed. Fuck them, they can wait another fucking few minutes. Tripping balls, kicking balls, game-winning goal. Got home, realized mom's using the rag I used to clean up after my last murder. Waving and nagging at me, nag, nag, nag. "Mom, I used that to clean up blood after a murder. Do you know where my knife is? I can't find it anywhere." She's not listening. I have to find that knife. Where the fuck could it be? I hope she didn't use it for the roast. Is it under the bed? No. No knife here. Is it in the drawer? No. No knife here. Is it behind this chair? No. Is it in the light fixture? Boom! Out like a light, thought I was dead, but I wasn't. I was in a coma. An ethereal dream world where I just wandered around empty streets drinking beers and just leaving them places. I turned a corner and I saw myself aging before my very eyes. I'm gonna be fucking awesome when I'm old. My shadow turns into a crazy hell beast. This is the greatest thing ever. I don't want to leave. But alas, I was tricked by a zombified version of myself. What a dick. And he offers me his hand and turns into the devil and tells me to
Form a rock and roll band. Appeal to the lowest common denominator. Let me show you what your horrifying fans should look like.
Bam! Wake up, cold sweats, fever, not feeling so hot. Suddenly a sick urge comes over me, and I puke it all out. Ponder the last few hours of my life, and smoke some weed with the hot chick. Or maybe 2 hot chicks. And I started that rock band like Satan told me to. Oh, and also, I found my knife. Kill them all, kill them all, kill them all. Kill them all, 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 kill them all. Toys, books, tapes and DVDs, antiquities, oddities, an embalmed horse, all at amazing prices. Necropolis, serving up everything from superheroes to the obscure. 59 Passaic Street, Garfield, New Jersey. Don't forget to visit the haunted basement for some spooky deals. Necropolis, 59 Passaic Street, Garfield, New Jersey. Patronize if you dare. Random ruckus, live from space, but really in a living room. Inquisitor is looking firmly with an inquiry. It's time to name the asshole of the week soon. Called up contempt, called up contempt, called up contempt. Wednesdays at 8:15.
What's up, groovy people? Oh, we got the Cult of Contempt.
You know me, you know what I do for a living? podcasting.
Oh, you know what? The light behind me is on.
That's all.
Oh,
And
man.
I don't like to be backlit.
No, you don't want that.
Backlighting's terrible.
No. I don't want you to see my silhouette. I want you to see my beautiful face.
So how many viewers do we have left that I didn't do the open?
I don't know.
Yeah, they all dropped off.
7. No, it went up to 7.
Oh my god! Wow,
seven.
you
Did
increased
you
my
see-
numbers by 1.
Did you come late to miss the open on purpose?
Sure.
You already told me to ignore that text.
Yeah, the text was like,
Yeah, but I decided to.
Oh, you're gonna post it, Jesus.
Yeah.
And that was a pocket thing. But it's funny how it was like,
Oh, it's not showing up. Too bad. It was like G, juju up to Hugh, humility 7, amazing, you now, ow, who, hi, thanks, stero. I was like, what the fuck is this?
But yeah, those do sound like sounds that Jim makes, so it kind of is plausible in a way.
James
when I'm getting
is
banged, baby, but
James is speaking in tongues.
It's like, what are we gonna do about this Jim cooking? He's all weird lately.
Yeah, what's he cooking up?
And I think Jim is
Do you
having
smell when I'm cooking? I hope not.
Are you gonna rock?
I wish, man. I wish I had his kind of money and his abs. He's got a 6-pack. I got a
draw yours on.
Yeah?
With like, you ever see contouring? Like girls do it to their face. You could do it to your body and just make yourself.
Is that what Jerry does? Or is he really built?
No, that's what Guar does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But like Jerry looks pretty fucking. I saw a picture of him the other day. It looked like Frankenstein, but I didn't know he had a 6-pack. Like, do those guys like, are they
Jerry's-
gym rats?
Well, listen, now Jerry's making like $1 million a show. So
Right.
all Jerry has to do is go to the gym and know how to perform his songs.
Right.
Like, he doesn't have to fucking run his machine shop or whatever he's doing. But yeah, he is in great shape for like his age, especially like.
Absolutely, that's why I was
All those
impressed. I was
guys
like,
are.
how old is this picture?
Doyle's not
I
that
still blame
old.
him for that shitty 50s cover album, though. Ugh, that was terrible.
The one
Doyle
that
still
came
looks like a
after it.
monster.
Yeah, Doyle's still shredded like he's fucking like 28. Like,
Yeah.
It looks like Frankenstein.
yeah, he's a monster. I love
tall,
Doyle.
too.
He's my favorite ex-member of the Misfits or member of the Misfits or whatever you want to say. He was an ex-member for a very long time.
He just looks like a big dumb guy.
No, because he just doesn't. He fucking doesn't want to meet the fans. Like, I think it's hilarious that he has no interest in just meeting these fucking weirdos. Like, hey, what's your favorite song? I kind of like playing them all the same. Like, he's just such a prick. It's fucking great. He's like my spirit animal.
But isn't
Just
that part
sucks
of
the
your
life out of the
job?
room, right?
Isn't that part of your
Yeah,
job?
to
as an
connect with the
entertainer?
people. Like,
No, your job is to fucking. If you're in one of those bands that, you know, you were in an iconic band fucking 30 years ago, okay?
Right.
Think of it like that, too. Nobody gave a fuck back then. So, yeah, they had their fans, they had their
Are
moment.
you kidding? The fucking Beatles? Girls went fucking crazy.
No, I mean the
over that.
Misfits. I'm talking about the Misfits.
Yeah, it was the same thing, but
No,
it was a
it
smaller
wasn't.
group.
The Misfits played like fucking 20 shows in their whole career. Like, they were just like a local band. They went on tour a couple times, went to England, got arrested, sent back. They didn't do much.
They got a huge underground following, though.
Because they put out albums that like Metallica and Guns N' Roses and all these people like covered and fucking like, oh, where'd this song come from?
Yeah, Metallica in particular, thrash embraced a lot of punk.
For
Because
sure.
you had Megadeth covering Sex Pistols.
Well, like
you
the
had
Misfits
Metallica
were
cover
like one of the
Misfits.
first, like, I think Earth
18
AD,
Nowhere League as well.
Earth AD is kind of like a thrash album.
Sure.
Like, or
Sure, there was
like
a little bit of
pre-thrash.
crossover. Then before you knew it, when Glenn formed Danzig, he's touring with these bands now.
Yeah, exactly. But it was like,
Because
and
I
that's
saw
the
that
thing
tour.
too. It's not like the Misfits existed and then none of those guys went on to do anything.
Right.
Like Glenn Danzig came out of it, so it's always going to be like that thing that'll be in the history book of like, oh, and he was in this band and that was first. Like,
So you're saying that
what band is this?
you're saying Jerry and Doyle are basically footnotes on Glenn Danzig's epic ass.
I feel like what happened in the 80s was that a lot of metal people found out that, we could play shit heavy and fast. And that's what happened. It's just an explosion of bands. Like Pantera came out of that, Metallica.
Pantera was Johnny Come Lately.
I'm just saying, like thrash metal and
their
all that
first
shit.
two albums are fucking awesome when they were a hair metal band.
Oh, yeah.
Diamond Daryl, that was the best.
I never got into Pantera, but by the time Pantera was like, had Cowboys of Hell, I was already over it, over thrash. I was over metal. I liked metal.
Vulgar Display of Power is one of the greatest albums ever, I think. It's
Really?
just that punch in the face.
Fuck that.
It just makes me want to like punch a nun. It's great music.
One Dave Mustaine called it a ripoff.
How was your trip?
I love the Jersey Shore after Labor Day, man.
Yes.
That sweet spot in early September.
Yes.
Dead as a doornail. Nobody's there.
That's the
Still
G
good.
spot.
Yeah, man.
It's the G spot of vacationing.
So, I like Point Pleasant, which is, other than Sandy Hook, I think it's the first shore exit on the Parkway. I think, right? Yeah. I don't think there's anything before Sandy Hook.
No Jenkinson's Beach.
Yeah, we were. The Jenkinsons run that town, man.
Oh yeah.
So we stayed at some dive motel, and we just kind of walked around town, and we got a pretzel that had Taylor ham, egg, and cheese on it.
What?
But I think we went on
Jersey.
an off night because they didn't take the salt off the pretzel, and Taylor ham pork roll as it were, is very salty to begin with.
Yeah.
So it was kind of really salty, but the pretzel was cooked so spot on. It was all doughy and soft in the middle,
Yeah.
it was good.
Yeah.
So then we did that, and then we just kind of, Allie and I do this thing where we don't have a meal. We just kind of bounce places and do small plates.
Oh yeah.
That's how we do Asbury. Just kind of, because Asbury's fucking expensive. You sit down and have a meal with a bunch of drinks, you're dropping $5-6 bills.
I don't even go down that far. I go to the Keensburg Amusements. Yeah, fuck going all the way down to that shit.
You go to the most white trash one ever.
Wait, Keensburg, is that before or after Point Pleasant?
Keensburg is exit 135 maybe, or exit one. It's by Sayreville, kind of.
Okay, so right around Driscoll, you're there, right? The Driscoll Bridge, and then you're there. Because Sayreville's
pretty
You gotta go
much.
down just a little bit, but yeah.
But where Birch Hill was, right? That's that area.
South-
I don't remember. I was only
South
there
there.
once.
Okay.
Keensburg is near what the hell is it? It's exit 119 or 117.
All right, everybody, get out your GPSs and then find Keensburg
The
for
first time I ever went to the Birch Hill was a great story because it was the first time. It was me and my friend were so stupid. He's dead now, so fuck him. It's not like I'm gonna, oh, you told that story. So he was playing in a battle of the bands that had a thing at the Birch Hill, right?
Okay.
So we cruised down there. He's fucking. It was the first time I ever saw anybody smoke weed in a car while they're driving. Fucking driving his van, smoking weed. It's probably it's like Cheech and Chong. And we get down there, and then he's like, "Oh yeah." Because I was kind of bummed out because I broke up with this girl. I was just chilling, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this girl's Katie is gonna be there. She thinks you're hot." So I literally just made out with a chick the entire night that I never met in my life.
Nice.
And then I made out with her one other time after that, and then she just disappeared. Fuck her.
Huh.
But yeah, that was a good night.
Fuck
And then
everyone in
somebody
the story.
took a picture of it with my digital camera, and so then I just showed it to my fucking my Cisco networking teacher.
Nice.
And he was less than thrilled. He's like, "You're gonna suck that girl's face off of her," or something like that. Yeah, it was good.
Meanwhile, he's thinking this kid's getting more tail than me.
Oh yeah, I got so much more pussy than that guy. So Mr. Carney.
My first time in the Birch Hill was '96. I went to see Ace Frehley. It was right around the time of the reunion, right before the reunion, right before the Unplugged.
Yeah, we're gonna do a reunion.
So Ace is half hour, 45 minutes late. He's doing his set. Richie Scarlett's there and all his douchiness. And
Fuck Richie Scarlett.
all of a sudden, we kept shouting for 2000 Man, which was the Stones cover he did.
Don't you know
Okay.
I'm a 2000 man? That's a
love
great
that
song. Yeah.
I like their version better than I like the Stones version. The Stones version is a little hippie and wishy-washy, not produced very well. But anyway, so at that time, Birch Hill had a disco room because disco had a little bit of a revival in the '90s. So there was this hot girl.
Oh
with
yeah,
boots.
Jamiroquai.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. A little bit.
That's
yeah.
right.
in virtual insanity. So this chick was dancing at Casey and the Sunshine Band, do a little dance, make a little with these like slutty kind of.
Oh, you guys listen to Asshole Disco?
There was Asshole Disco playing in the Bird Show because there were two clubs combined. That because we were waiting for fucking Ace to show up, and Ace was drunk. So at one point we got Ace to sing 2000 Man because we just started singing it. Dan and I got the crowd to sing it, and then eventually they did
that's
with
fucking
us.
awesome.
I've never done that before or after that. Huh. So that was kind of cool, and you know, and he turned. We were close enough to hear him say, "Ha, that wasn't in the set," and he was all like, "Nah," you know, like typical Ace, like in the fucking Phantom of the Park, which is the movie we should watch and make fun of on this show. We should get a copy of Phantom of the Park. It's hard to find too.
It's not hard to find it.
Dude, it's impossible to find. The VHS one is a European issue because I think Paul and Gene like took them off the market. Or can you like download it in your
I could
dark
conjure
web?
that during this show if I wanted to, James. I could conjure that as if from nowhere.
He's the media
I have to wave my
whisperer.
hand in the air when I speak of conjuring.
I looked all over eBay and the secondhand market, and I could not find a copy that was under $30, and I'm paying fucking $30.
Why would you pay? It's fucking on YouTube.
What?
The entire movie, I think, is on YouTube.
It looked like shit, and it wasn't done. The sync wasn't right. Well, that's how Allie watched it.
The whole fucking. That's how the movie looks, Jim.
No, it was not.
Yeah, it is. That's how it looks. It looks like shit.
Can't you get like Pirate Bay or something?
No, I've never heard of that. What is that, Phil?
It's a place where you can get illegal movies.
Oh, I heard me and you are working the same event this weekend.
Yeah, I heard rumors to that effect. So, the famous queen of the Clash Bar is going away.
Yeah.
Alexa, friend of the show, also known as the Door Girl, but I never liked calling her the Door Girl. There was a good month where we referred to her as Tits McGee, but then we learned her name. Because you gotta do that. You learn people's names.
Right.
Yeah.
Remember that, rock star. Remember people's names. So what? How do you want me to introduce you? Am I doing the in this corner weighing 200 pounds, or do you want me to like?
No, I don't
roast
weigh.
you?
I only weigh 175 now. My doctor is concerned. I've lost 5 pounds. I told her, I'm like, bitch, I fluctuate 5 pounds like a motherfucker. Like, but anyway, no, I would like you to announce me as if I'm like foreign royalty. Perhaps in my native tongue, whatever that text message was, I would just like you to go up and speak gibberish to people for 90 seconds and then put your arm out and I'll just walk up.
Lebanon, BB, Duperdo!
Yeah, like this, but say something meaningful in your language, you know? Or no, say something really hateful. Say every ethnic slur in your language, because nobody will know.
In my language, okay, yeah. Mine's like the worst word is like 2 C words, F the N word. It's crazy, and it's a bad word.
You think?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, no, don't translate that part to English.
Yeah.
Say
you
the
can't.
gibberish.
Yeah.
Just say it in gibberish.
Yeah, we don't
No,
want
but
it.
I want you to speak gibberish for my intro and just have nobody, because people will just be like, what the fuck?
What did Jim lose it? You know, it's gonna be great. So who else is playing? It's you, Stereo Joe, and Jersey Panic.
Oh, God, really?
I don't know. I can look at the letter. I'm kidding.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I have no idea. They're
My
probably.
heart's like pounding now.
Why? Are you afraid of them? Because you made
No,
fun
I'll
of
fucking
these?
suplex a motherfucker. Are you kidding me? I don't
Because I
want
really think you could take those guys.
I don't want to deal with that.
What's wrong with Jersey Panic? I never. heard
Oh
of
God, it's like if you and your like 2 friends that never played music before but heard it decided like, yeah, we're gonna start a band, and then you like rehearsed like 2 or 3 times in your like parents' house, and
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, we're ready for a gig.
Okay.
And then you went to a show and played, and just blew it at every opportunity of singing and playing any kind of lead. So it's like, if this band had a singer and a lead guitar player, they would be good. The drummer was awesome. I'll give them that.
Right.
And they had this bass player at the time that was awesome until he left to go do something else and not hang out with idiots. And then these guys just renamed the band. I forget what they call it now. High Anxiety. Oh my God, that's what it gives me, because it's the same shit. They just poorly play like Blink-182, and they're fucking idiots. I'll watch them play to like their girlfriends there, like oh yeah, that looks really good, hon. Oh yeah, wow, I'm so moist. And then it's like, all right, guys, pack it up, and they fucking just take off and get the fuck out of there, and like go home and learn nothing from like the other bands that are playing. Like then a good cover band will go up. And like blow them out of the water.
And Alexis
no, it was a
Birthday.
guy. It was a British singer. That guy. I forget what they were called.
We followed them once, so we blew them off the stage. The Aces. It was just a three-piece. It was me, Dan, and Alan. We fucking. Oh, I love when I destroy a band.
It's exceptionally insulting to be like mixing that, and it's like, oh, they're coming back again. Like, why are they? I don't want to mix this. Like, that's why I stopped mixing at the bar unless somebody asks me, and I fucking just show up and like tell the sound guy like take a fucking walk.
They never really learned harmonies. They sort of think they got it, but they're off. One of them's flat and one of them's sharp at the same time. It's awful. Their cover choices are bad, and
It's
yeah,
all
he's
right to tell me.
The drummer was holding the thing together.
The drummer is fucking. He's really good. That guy.
But it was, I don't know. I remember there was a blonde guy, and he was just so flat, like on a Green Day song. It was really bad. We all and everybody that was like been around. We all like looked down at the same time. You know, do you ever watch a movie and something embarrassing happens? I cover my eyes sometimes.
Recoil a little.
Yeah, I always do that, especially in like The Office when Michael's doing something really fucking stupid,
like, oh, God.
really embarrassing. So, like the one where he's the Dundies and those guys were making fun of him, and it was just, and then Pam's all drunk. I just had to look away for the whole fucking thing. And so with New Jersey Panic, every time they'd hit a bad note, I don't know. I had nothing against them. They stuck around the show we played. It was like Alexa's birthday party. I was more pissed off at that fat comedian who was telling bad Cosby jokes. We did a sound check.
Oh, yeah.
The crowd was ready. This guy comes out again doing the same material he did at the beginning of the show.
That was the joke. It was great.
And then fucking chased all the people away. And it took us 3 songs to get him back. I wanted to kill that fucking asshole. So wait,
That guy was a treasure.
Oh please,
He was
terrible.
Say that to his face. That guy will lift you over his head.
I don't fucking care. He fucking took my crowd away. I don't care, man. I'll take my lumps. I always do. I'm a cook. We open our mouths.
I think that was the comedy night.
It was Alexa's birthday, so she wanted him to be a comic. But like he had his time, but there was nobody there, and our people showed up, and then some asshole showed up in pajamas on a guitar. He's like, "I'm going on now." Oh wait, who was that?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that on Saturday too.
Nice.
Now I don't care because I got no dog in the show.
No, you know what? Alexa told me, she's like, yeah, you can play as long as you want. It's like, you are going to regret that.
Can I get a vampire pinup girl, please?
Oh, you know what? It's funny you should mention that. I got a funny text from my friend the other day.
Funny like mine? Like you?
No, it was like, oh, your vampire ex-girlfriend is being a whore on Instagram, and then he called her, he likened her to being a guy in like a Ferrari just blasting a loud radio. Like everybody would think that's cool, but it's like it's not cool. I keep thinking of that. It's like the funniest analogy of like that I've ever heard. It's so poignant.
South Park did a thing where there were these guys on Harleys and they thought that them making all that noise was going to impress everybody, and it just annoyed everybody.
Precisely.
And then when people weren't noticing their sounds, they would make their own sound.
Oh my God.
Funny. I'm excited. Like, I volunteered to MC. I thought she was going to say no. She's like, yeah, do it. So, like, I always thought the Clashworks should have an MC. It's just, there was no money in it. So. But I always thought, like Kenny's Castaway always had an MC in the village. And this guy was like, I introduced the Buzzcocks. And I was like, wow.
I always like autos for that, too. Frankie Wood. Do you know Frankie Wood? Hey, I'm Frankie Wood.
I don't know him, but I've heard stories about him.
Oh my God, Frank Wood is like a fucking nut.
He's one of those names, like, I don't think he actually exists because I've never seen him. Or he's me.
Jim, we're going to go, one day the three of us, we're going to go take New York City. We'll hit up Sparrow, get some real New York pizza.
Okay, cool.
And, Sbarro?
Yeah, Sbarro, yeah.
Get a New York slice.
Yeah.
Oh my God, is that Tina Fey?
Exactly. No, but we'll go meet Frankie Wood and we'll do an out and about with him because he's like a fucking nut. Yeah, he talks like Wolfman Jack.
And then
he'll give you a button sometimes, like a, you know, like you stick on a pin.
Yeah.
With like a fucking likeness of him. It's got like his fucking facial hair and shit. He kind of reminds me of if like Wolfman Jack and Lemmy like double teamed the chick and their sperm combined to form Frank Wood. But he's like a vet and shit. Like he's fucking nuts. Like he reminds me of like a character in like a Charles Bronson movie that he'd be friends with.
Nice.
But, you know, like
That guy's got some stories.
yeah.
Is Otto's in Midtown or is that?
Otto's is on 14th Street between A and B, I think, or B and C.
I was there like twice. One time there was a chick trying to look up Alana's skirt. That was kind of funny. Back in the day, 680 used to do this song, I Don't Know You, back in the Mike days. And it ends with like a jam, and then Alana writhes around on the floor and makes feedback, and sometimes she's wearing a skirt, sometimes her legs are spread. But there was this chick, and she was like, it's like, why don't you get closer, honey? Stick your head in there.
One of my
That dog
favorite
is not gonna hunt,
songs.
lady.
One of my favorite songs is about Otto's shrunken head. It's called "Crack Horse Stole My $15."
I heard that story, yeah. Yeah, so as the story goes, 6'8" was playing, right? And this chick was doing like spoken word. I wasn't there, but I heard it was awful. And she was like,
She was doing
stories.
spoken word and crack.
Yeah.
Nice.
She was like talking about smoking crack and sucking dick, from what I understand.
Wow.
I mean, you were there. You should probably be telling the story. I'm giving second.
Oh, I was
here.
so hammered, I don't remember.
So anyway,
I was like, shit.
so whoever the fuckhead was that ran the thing was like, oh, so and so didn't get any money. Would you guys give her money? And they only made $15. And again, one of those situations where 68 probably brought 60-75% of the people there, and didn't get the money.
Well, no, the way the Otto's works is you fucking. Frank Wood, like, I filled the bucket, and they put a bucket down, and it's like, if you're entertained, go throw in a couple bucks. If you're not,
That's right.
Fucking,
I remember that the time I was
just
there.
spit in the bucket, spit on their fucking shit.
The bar is really cool too. It's like a tiki kind of theme, and there's like a gazillion different kinds of tikis. In
Yeah,
the bar.
it's a cool place.
And you can just sit there and look at the tikis.
Otto's
like,
rocks.
Awesome.
and the drinks are good, and I mean for Manhattan.
The drinks are
it's-
super expensive in there.
But for Manhattan, it's not.
No, it's fucking goddamn highway robbery.
Yeah.
You should
I don't
never
remember being that
You should
high.
never have to pay $16 for a double Tito's in Cranberry. I think that's astounding.
That's why I bring a vape pen everywhere.
Yeah.
And possibly a flask.
Your best bet is to buy one of the cool drinks, because they do have like cool ass drinks, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
just beer it.
Right.
But they do have like a cool ass like fruit drinks, but it's like fucking like $20. It's like fucking that's a little much.
Yeah.
But it's like a tourist spot, like bands play there, you know, I don't know, they don't pay the bands, so.
You know, I'm starting to realize I don't think I've been there in like 15 years, so
Oh, wow.
it was probably reasonable the last time I went.
Yeah, no, it's unreasonable.
I don't think Tito's existed when I.
It's unreasonable now, I'll tell you that for sure. It's like, when you go to order 2 fucking drinks and it comes to like $37, it's like, fuck.
You could have had dinner for that.
Yeah, I could have a lot of things for that, you know?
And drinks.
It's funny though. There are places in the city that are reasonably priced. You just got to know where to go.
Yeah, you know what's a good one? Rudy's. And they give you free hot dogs. It's by the Actors Studio, because it's where
Yeah.
I used to go to fucking, when I had to go hang out at the Actors Studio, and Al
That's like
Pacino
Fleeter,
moved
right?
me out of the way that one time.
Oh, that's funny.
Fucking, I used to hang out at Rudy's before I had to go there, and they give you free hot dogs, and like, the beers are like, I don't know, but they're reasonable. It's like a couple bucks, like
Right.
$5, $6, $7, $8, depending on what you want, but it's.
A hot dog for you at Rudy's.
So I would just go to fucking Rudy's, eat free hot dogs, drink a couple beers, go down to the Actors Studio, do whatever I had to do. And
What were you doing there? Were you
usually like running through a play, like I did. I wrote music for a play called The Problem.
Oh, shit.
And yeah, it was like a fun thing. I don't know, like I always like musical type plays. Like when I was a kid, like, I don't know, Rocky Horror and fucking, there's a bunch of them.
Tommy?
Little Shop of Horrors.
No, yeah, Little Shop of Horrors I watched, but Sound of Music, I fucking, like, I don't really like the Sound of
Still
Music
never
now,
seen
but
it.
I'll tell you, it's like,
Yeah.
the songs are catchy, like, in there. You know, like, there's a catchiness and a funness to, like, writing songs like that,
Uh-huh.
that, like, I don't really get in playing a punk rock band. So I did this play, and it was cool. Like, but it never got picked up. We never did it like as a big production. But it's fucking cool to be hanging out like inside the actor's studio.
Yeah,
You know,
great.
like, but it's not where they shoot the show inside the actor's studio. You would think that's there, but
No, they shoot that down the street, right?
That's it. Fucking in a college room somewhere, like in a big. There's a stage, but it's like an auditorium. The auditorium in the actor's studio is more like a black box theater.
Yeah.
Where it's like, and it's more for. Usually, you don't see a play there. You see somebody invites you to watch them work out their play, or like do it, or maybe they change this thing this time to see how it works with the audience. Like it's them like workshopping. So it's cool. Like you could see the same play, and maybe it'll be kind of different.
Or as the jazz guys say, woodshedding. Anyway.
But it's a great, I don't know, it was a cool process, like, just to, I
Sounds
never,
amazing.
I did a play when I was a very small child called Christmas on Broadway, and I played the lead, like, little kid of, like, this family that goes and they go to New York and, like, walk around Broadway and see all the different shows, and, like, each thing we would mention, it's like, I remember there was one line, it's like, bye, and then my line was birdie? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. But then they did a bit from Bye Bye Birdie, and then, like, we walked down the street again. It was a Catholic school, they didn't do Rocky Horror or Cats or anything cool. Right. But,
Sure, it's probably like classic Broadway, right?
Yeah, they did, like, Damn Yankees and stuff like that, like, whatever. Like, it was, I don't know, it was my first, like, bit ever in life of like being on a stage and like delivering lines.
Right.
And I haven't been able to find it. Like I know we had a tape of it somewhere. My mom might have it at home. I gotta see if she's got it, if she'll bring it down, because I'll fucking put it in the computer. We can critique my performance.
Nice.
I will rip it apart. But I remember it was like a big deal. Like the Catholic school like had it broadcast on like the local TV stations. So like my parents taped it. Like I was like fucking pissed at the fact like I'm on TV and I can't be home watching it. You know, like that was like my thought in my like 4-year-old kindergarten brain. Like I'm on fucking TV and I can't even watch it. Like, this sucks. I have to watch the tape. Like Ghostbusters, you know, like I'm on the same echelon now as Harold Ramis.
You wish.
No, I was. I was a young Harold Ramis. You see shades of Egon in my performance.
Perfect shades of Egon.
I was a big Egon fan.
I was as a little kid. We went to the Channel 9 News. They came to our Oakview school, and they picked some kids to go there to record like little PSAs about schools in New Jersey and shit like that. And the thing that I was most interested in was the green room and the plate of donuts that we got for free.
Nice.
But
The green room is the shit, though.
the green room was the
You
shit.
walk into that green room and you know exactly what the fuck is going on. Right? Like, don't you know exactly, like, oh, this is how they do it. Like,
That's right, yeah.
I remember seeing that for the first time as a kid, because, like, watching the news was always like, oh, yeah, and this is over here. I'm like, how the fuck do they... What is this? Like, is this a giant screen? Like, it blew my mind as a small child. As an adult, I own a green screen that I never, ever, ever use. But I am trying to find...
Maybe we should use it.
Well, I gotta find somewhere, A, to rig it up,
Yeah.
I asked for one for my birthday.
and B, to, what are we gonna shoot with a green screen?
Why don't you fucking borrow his green screen?
Yeah.
And then you can
no,
fucking do shit with it.
Because I want my own.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. But I'm saying if you don't get one...
I gotta learn how to use the chroma key though first. Yeah.
Do you want to use green screen for your birthday? You set it
You
up
could do
and
green
actually
screen.
Use it, because I'll give it to you. I don't fucking...
I don't know if somebody's buying me one because I asked for one on my birthday list.
You have to wait.
And then people are like, "What should you get for my birthday?" And Allie's like, "Don't get him anything. Just show up." And I'm like, "No, tell them packing tape." So everybody show up with a roll of packing.
No,
tape.
you want gaffer's tape.
Oh no, for my eBay business.
Oh, and gaffer's tape.
Right, for the green screen. Right. Well, I was gonna go because don't they usually have like eye holes and you can actually hook hook it up? Or
Mine, no, I had to just rig fucking Velcro to it, and we built. My friend's dad was a carpenter. It was awesome. We'd be like, oh yeah, we need to put this screen up. He's like, okay. He would just fucking go get some PVC pipe and like a saw and fucking some shit and some wood and just rig something together.
so he laid some pipe, huh?
Great.
And he was a carpenter, so he was singing close to you while he was doing it?
No, he is. I'll tell you. My friend's dad was like, he always would like do shit that was like artistic or like help us with our shit, whatever we were doing. Like
that's great.
Like, shit like that, you know. Like if we needed something rigged up, he was like, oh, I'll get my tools. You know, I could do this. He was cool. He was like he's a guitar player, and like that's like my first experience. Like my dad played guitar too, but like I remember like nobody else I knew, like their parents never fucking played instruments or whatever. And then like going to my friend's house, it was like, oh, your dad's kind of like my dad, but he plays better songs. He played like Eric Clapton and stuff. My dad played like fucking Pink Floyd. Who the fuck wants to hear an asshole on acoustic guitar playing Pink Floyd? But
hello. I hate Pink Floyd so much.
But
no hook, boring songs, and nothing upbeat.
no, that's Tom's dad though. That was here. And he's like, it's funny because I remember being a kid and there was like this old bass in Tom's basement that Tom like. One day he was like always musically inclined. He could sing and like dance when he was like real little.
Yeah.
He was like real like animated and like fucking always.
We saw that video, yeah.
Yeah, he always had. Well, no, but that you don't actually hear him sing, but he can fucking sing, that kid. And
well, he was singing a tune or
there was
two
this
in the show last
there was this old bass that was in his basement, and I remember him like finding it like, oh, what is this? Oh my god, it's a bass, you know. It's like a guitar, but you only play like the one string at a time. It's you know Paul McCartney, and he's like, oh yeah. So he fucking started like playing bass like on this very badly warped fucking weird old bass, and his dad's like I remember he pulled me aside one day. He's like, you know, I hear him playing on that bass, like he's actually he got it in tune and he's actually trying to play songs, but it's very warped. Like, do you think we should, you know, I should get him one? I'm like, yeah, man. Like, I think if you got him one, he'd be like really psyched, you know? Like, right. You get him like one of those kits or whatever, and it comes with a little amp and shit. He'll learn, like, and he did. Like, I remember going to the store with them, like, fucking picking out the shit, and like, that kid's now like he's a sick musician. Like, cool. I always loved that, like, giving somebody that fucking push. Like, yeah, you should definitely get this kid this.
That's great. Well, I mean, you can tell just from watching the wrestling that family was really close-knit, really good to each other. They included the little kid instead of not including.
Well, no, he would tell on us if we didn't include him. Like,
all right, so he blackmailed you, but
that's what kids.
I don't know. But then I don't know. While we're watching it, I see him with his childhood glee going, "Oh my God, it's an ugly Guido!"
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah,
it was fun, man. Like,
but that it seemed like a good family to be hanging out with instead of some of the other assholes that were in this town that.
All my other friends are dead, like from back then, that were like, yo man, you want to come smoke weed with us? Like, it was like funny, like I never thought of weed as a gateway drug, but then I realized I'm like, well, all those kids are dead from heroin, and they started smoking weed like way before I did, like habitually, like just getting fucked up all the time and shit like that, you know what I mean? Like, if I got fucked up when I was a kid, it was because like I went out on a Friday night or a Saturday night with my friends and got a little banged up, and we fucking walked everywhere. You know, we drink a couple beers or vodka or whatever, and like walk home, and my parents kind of, you know, I could be like, oh, my stomach doesn't feel right, because I never went out and partied like that. So, and I was also too, like my parents didn't give a shit when I was a kid. If I'm like, hey mom, can I have a beer? And I'm like fucking, you know, 17, 16, like. Yeah, my
parents
mom,
were that way too.
My mom didn't really give a fuck. Yeah, you can have a beer or whatever, or like a hard lemonade or whatever shit, you know, was around. Like, if everybody was just chilling, like I wasn't getting fucking shit hammered as a kid, but.
I tried. I would drink it through a straw on an empty stomach. And I had myself convinced that would get me buzzed faster. And I don't know, psychosomatically it worked. But they would always say have one supervised, but I always pick the same one and just have it over and over again.
I think that if you're like young and you're habitually smoking marijuana, there's probably some sort of trauma you're trying to cover up, and I don't think it has to do with the drug itself. I think those people are in a certain mindset where they're sort of driven towards opioids.
I don't think my friend had any trauma that he was trying to cover up. I think he just lacked confidence.
Okay.
As a kid, like, it's fucked up, man. Like, I remember there was these punk rock like twins, right? They're both fucking dead now.
Really, both twins, huh?
Dude, both fucking twins are dead now. Wow. And it's like, fuck, man. Like, I remember those kids used to party like we were kids, you know, and like, they're like, I was older than them. I'm like 13, 14. These kids are like 12, 13 years old, like fucking doing
right,
shit.
There's a problem there. They're like 12 years old and they're doing that shit.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was even a trauma. I think it was like fucking like, oh, this is a cool thing to do. Like, they didn't seem like they were particularly traumatized.
If they thought it was so cool at 12 years old, there must have been something driving them to feel that way. Like, they felt inadequate, or there's some sort of...
Well, yeah, they were like fucking like the outcast kids, you know?
Okay, so that's traumatic, man.
I'm a teenage schizo.
It's weird for me. I can't identify with that because I never saw anybody as like the outcast kid. Like, I was always friends with everybody.
Right.
There was jocks I was friends with. There was fucking the punk kids. Like, I was like the goth kid, but I was like friendly with everybody. The computer kids, the fucking AV kids, the theater kids. Like, the only other person I had a problem with in my high school was the other goth kid that people would confuse me with, who was just like a little fucking cunt. And like, I wanted to just drop him like a
You notice it's all about him because other people...
No, that kid one time wanted to fuck my girlfriend, right? And he goes, hey, do you want a soda? I'm like, okay, figuring he's gonna bring me a can of soda. This motherfucker brings me a soda. A Coke, actually, in fact, as you're pouring right now.
Our new sportster.
And notice how there's no white powder floating in your Coke?
Ew.
That's like a laxative.
He tried to roofie you?
No, he tried to laxative me.
So you can make out with your girlfriend while you were in
That
a
wouldn't have
shooter?
made out with him anyway. He's like a pencil.
That's a terrible plan.
But yeah, that's that was the other, the kid in high school I had a problem with, and like a couple of these fucking.
Well, like you said,
Guidos.
that kid that turned you around in a trench coat.
Yeah, a couple of the Guidos. That was the other
That was
thing.
a Guido,
like,
okay.
A couple of the Guidos, but it was like they had a problem with everybody. Like, my friend remembers them. My friend used to use the gym in high school, and he remembers these kids. They're all fucking dead now. It's hilarious. Coming into the gym, coming into the fucking like the workout room,
right,
and being like, yo, get off that machine, we want to use that. And like, my friends are like the upperclassmen, you know, they're like juniors in high school. These are freshmen coming in, they're like, who the fuck are you?
Right.
Get the fuck out of here, you know, like, fuck you. But like, these kids like have like this fucking bravado. Like, I don't know where this like machismo fucking came from. These kids thought they were like hot shit.
Right.
And it was funny. It was like every few years you would have that class of like, these kids are all fucking cunts, and they're all gonna be dead in 10 years. Like, all of them. And it's unfortunate, but it's like I called so many of them from when I was a kid. Like, I said that, like, oh yeah, this kid, he's gonna start doing drugs and he's gonna die really young.
You can see some of them.
I would say shit like that as like a 9-year-old kid, and fucking it all happened.
That's hilarious.
Baby
Is it?
Nostradamus.
Or did I cause it? Or did I predict the future? Audience, did I cause these people to die? Did I predict the future?
You just saw that they were assholes.
Yeah, no, it's just pattern of behavior.
Yeah,
Like, they're
exactly.
pricks, and they're probably gonna fucking do something stupid and die.
Right, exactly. You know what's weird was over the weekend when we went to Tierney's, I saw an old buddy of mine from grade school, and he was like the class clown with me. Like, I remember in 6th grade we had the stupid singing thing, where we had to sing in front
Did
of
you
our
guys do
parents.
your act again at
No, we
Tierney's?
were just making fucking jokes at 12 years old in the back of the fucking risers, and everybody was laughing, and the whole thing fell apart, and our parents were so angry at us. Like, we would just do shit like that all the time, but he had a serious drug problem for a while, and he made it out of it. I couldn't believe it, because he alienated a lot of friends for a while and stuff like that. Meanwhile, our other friend Mike, who everybody loved and stuff like that, died of fucking cancer.
Well,
And I just found out about that, and it was like, you know,
only the good die young, like Billy Joel says.
Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, how, like, sometimes just life, you can't predict it, you know?
There was a pretentious douchebag named Clint in my high school, and I wanted to punch him. And I tried to. I got close, and he ran away like a little girl. He literally ran away like this. And then this English teacher had words with me for my inappropriate behavior, chasing after Clint in the hallway.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
I would have called him Clint.
I should have.
Would have called him cunt.
Anyway,
Cunt?
he fucking paid. He paid this scumbag $20 to threaten me to leave him alone.
I paid those kids $20 to dump a fucking yogurt on you.
You did?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
I thought we were friends. We were friends. All right, well, I'm out. So anyway, that scumbag, I banged his girlfriend.
Nice.
Fine. They broke up. They broke up. But I was the friend on the sides, and you know.
You were the rebound guy.
5 pieces of side ass.
Yeah, I was the rebound. He always resented me, and the kid was crazy. So
Did you tell him, like Mr. T, hey man, I got your woman's hole? You should have. That would have been fucking great.
No. But word travels fast, and I don't know.
She was a real man.
He's dead. But the thing with that guy was he was always Mr. Macho Guy, but he always had a booger hanging out of his nose. I don't know why this girl saw him in the first place.
Wow.
But I'm not saying names because I don't know.
No,
Who's gonna see this? But
fine.
none of my Sussex County friends give a shit about this podcast, so who cares?
That's hilarious.
You know, so
His name was Burgess Meredith.
yeah.
I punched him in the face. I killed him.
A buddy of mine was running around with this girl behind this guy's back. We were in our 20s, and the guy confronted him, and he said, you know, she picks me up in your car all the time, and then we go fuck back at her place, and she orders food. Like, he just didn't give a shit. He was just fucking giving it to this
That guy got knocked to the
This
face,
kid
didn't he?
went and got a gun one day and was chasing my buddy, and the dumbass went down a fucking cul-de-sac and went to make a K-turn, and the kid jumped out and fucking shot him in the arm. Got him in the arm.
For fucking his girlfriend?
And the girlfriend was in the car with my buddy at the time too.
Jesus.
Yeah, and then they caught him when he went back to go get the shell casing several hours later. So he actually got caught returning to the scene of the crime.
Wow, they staked it out.
They staked it out.
They have to. Like, if there's a gunshot in suburbia, man,
Yeah.
like, there's somebody fucking watching.
Go white people in danger. We have to do something about this.
Yeah, well, in the
That's basically
city,
what it is.
in the city, it's so common that people don't even give a fuck about gun violence anymore in, like, the major cities. It's not even...
Not in Manhattan.
No, well, Manhattan, there's hardly fucking gun violence.
You can't
No,
afford
everybody's so-
anything in Manhattan.
Yeah.
It's all rich people.
There's no gun. There's violence in
No.
Manhattan, but there's not gun violence. But like fucking Chicago or
Chicago's
Detroit,
horrible.
you know, like there's shit going on.
Sure.
There. You don't fucking go out after a certain hour
Patterson.
in some of the in some places exactly. You don't cross that bridge over by the Loop Lounge, or you're gonna get a stabbing.
I knew a guy that lived across that.
Did he sell crack?
No, but he wore a headband and he shook his hand. He shook your hand with a dead fish.
I was the dead fisher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
I don't trust those people.
Dead fish hand.
You know who I met this weekend?
No.
Chris Hill.
Chris Hill. He's a comic genius.
He is a comic genius.
He's part of another project, which I don't know what happened to. No pressure, dude.
Wait, you know Chris Hill?
Yeah.
The Chris Hill?
You know the Chris Hill?
I was in the writer room with the Chris Hill, and he brought donuts. What a mensch.
Yeah, he's great.
I thought that he was like a conglomeration of famous comedy writers that were just controlling one account.
He was like the Serpentor of
And
writers.
I thought they just took a picture of Dave.
the DNA of Hemingway and
No, I thought they just took a picture of like Dave Bautista, the wrestler, and like kind of just modified it with a beard and made it look like a dude. that wasn't
Chris
him.
Hill was part of the Dennis Daly gang from West. I don't know if they called themselves
those ravenous outlaws, the Dennis Daly gang.
Yeah.
Are you part of the Dennis Daly boys?
Are you part of the Daly family?
And yeah, it was like, well, they were all like a role playing group.
Oh.
But the one dude who you guys would really find, he's a pisser. This guy Jim, and to just differentiate him from me, they called him Jim Shadow because he literally had that Snake Eyes Storm Shadow tattoo, that red bar. So they called him Jim Shadow, and I was just Jim. Just Jim.
That would have been cool if they called you Jim Shadow because he had that tattoo and they thought it was kind of toolish. Like, yeah, we're gonna call the other Jim
Jim Shadow. But it just stuck, and I was like, so wait, am I Jim Eyes? Like, because he's Shadow, and everybody's like, you're stupid. So yeah, so that didn't stick.
Megatron.
Megatron. Energon cubes.
Did you ever turn to him and say, "You're my shadow"?
No.
You should do that.
I should totally do that. Anyway.
Who's your asshole or hero of the week?
I would say that I am my hero of the week because I've only got a couple of days left, and just at my job, I just put it in like a lower gear this week, and it's just a beautiful thing. It's just a beautiful thing to slack off a little bit.
This man, this podcast didn't prevent him from getting his new job. So
You got a new job?
I got a new job. You didn't know that? Thank you.
No,
I did a post on the old Facebooker, but
I didn't.
I'll be working for a research foundation in Manhattan. I'll be a research manager. I'll be writing on their research for blogs and
we have a
newsletters.
researcher.
Nice.
Wow. Oh, you were talking about that getting a job.
Yeah.
So that IRA, you interviewed.
Round of applause.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you, sir.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, gentlemen. Gentlemen.
My hero of the week is I forgot her name, but this gorgeous waitress at this crab restaurant. No, she wasn't. No, this nice waitress. She wasn't gorgeous. She was, she wasn't busted. But I don't know. She brought me crab and butter and extra sour cream, so she's my hero. And I think I ate my weight in butter yesterday.
Yeah.
So yeah, Point Pleasant. Check out the arcade. Find the DC coin machine. Good times.
Oh wow. And you, sir?
I think my friend who will remain unnamed who sent me that hilarious text message is the hero. my ex.
Oh, me? With that dumb head text?
No, my friend sent me the one about the thing about her being a Ferrari, music or whatever. That shit cracks me up. But no, I do have an asshole of the week. I watched a film this weekend.
A film?
Called, The Perfect Wife, and it's about a chick that meets this dude and gets him to marry her and all this bullshit, but she's like crazy and she's off her meds, and then it just devolves from there. But it's like they didn't do sound design in this movie at all. Like the dialogue is just like from whatever the camera. Like the scene is cut, but they didn't bother to make the dialogue like normalized or the same volume. So it's like, sure. So then like music comes on, it's like real loud, and then like the people are talking.
Wow.
Hey, we should go to the store. Like somebody else like is just talking regularly, but they're so fucking loud. Like some other guy. It was called The Perfect Wife, and the asshole of the week is Jonathan Milton, who I haven't seen his first movie, which was what the fuck was it called? It was Foreign Exchange Student, which is about a killer foreign exchange student. And boy, does he plug it in his second movie. Like constantly, like, hey, what are you watching on TV? Oh, this movie, Foreign Exchange Student, about this crazy.
Oh, jeez.
And then it's like they go to the video store, and every video behind the counter is Foreign Exchange Student. It's like, hey, you know I made this movie, guys? Like, it was fucking...
I know this guy has a podcast and all he talks about are the songs he wrote.
But I'll tell...
Actually, can I amend have my asshole of the week. I actually have an asshole of the week.
Okay.
Is it me?
It is you, and I'll tell you why.
Nice.
I understand the idea of burlesque cheapening your punk rock songs, but you were fat shaming people.
I wasn't fat shaming anybody.
You said 50 pounds of shit in a 10-pound bag. That means a fat person squeezing into an outfit.
No, it doesn't.
Jim knows he's a fat person.
I'm a fat person. My people are pissed.
Listen.
I said, listen, I'll talk to them.
No.
I told the fat community
absolutely
was
not that.
marching.
A lot of double chin.
Why you wagging, Paul?
That's absolutely not that. 5 pounds of shit, 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag is like fucking anybody that is wearing clothes to me that are fucking too small for them or too small for the audience in the room, and nobody wants to fucking see that. I don't give a shit if the girl's rail thin and up there fucking dancing, or if she's 300 fucking pounds. I don't want to see fucking any chicks dancing on stage to the Accelerators, okay? Or to the Undead, or to any band really where the beat is it's like there's no good way to do that, and it's not like any of us asked you to be there or want you to be there. Like, it's like, okay.
Are you specifically talking about Roxy and Dukes? I know they do a lot of burlesque.
It's happened at a couple places. We had this fucking bitch hanging from chains, okay? Who the fuck watching the Accelerators wants to see a girl hanging from chains?
Oh, somebody played that show.
From
right?
her back. I'm like fucking thinking, I'm like, I hope somebody goes up and just grabs her torso and just pulls her down. Like, that'd be fucking hilarious to me.
I think that's
so an ambulance could come and take away her fucking bleeding carcass, and we could have just a regular fucking show without a bitch hanging here.
Parks is going for like a vaudeville thing, I think.
A lot of places.
I get it.
That's
That's
where
where
themselves.
Yeah, Roxy and Duke. I like that's a beautiful stage.
It's a cool stage. It's a cool room. It's a fun room. But I can't fucking. I hate that shit. It's just a distraction, man. You know, like, I'm trying to enjoy a band. Like, I don't want to see some fucking asshole, like, up there like they're part of the show. They're not part of the show. If they're part of the show, fine. If it's Rob Zombie, or if it's fucking, like, my friend brought up a good point. Oh, the girl we hired. It's like, boom, you negated my argument right there. The girl you hired. Like,
Oh, these are just people that come out of the woodwork.
I don't know if they come out of the woodwork. I don't know if the venue's like, oh yeah, that's cool to do while this is happening. Like, I would never want to fucking dance scantily clad to music that I've probably never heard on a stage.
Right.
But it's like, imagine, oh yeah, I come out and fucking with a banana hammock, swinging my cock around like a fucking helicopter. Oh, I'm doing burlesque. Like, people would be like, what the fuck is this? Like, call a fucking psych ward. You know, like, it's okay when, oh, it's a scantily clad woman, but if I want to fucking pull out my shit.
Well, there was a burlesque show at that dysentery place in Montclair. Meat Locker, right? Yeah. There was a roller derby group raising money, so they put together a burlesque show. But a lot of it was just like roller derby chicks in their roller derby gear, like dancing to the Ting Tings. Do you remember the Ting Tings? Briefly, they were sort of like a Blondie-esque, maybe kind of like a hipper rock set, I guess. But I don't know, they had a couple good songs. They were on Yo Gabba Gabba, so that gives them street cred.
Okay.
Look at his face. Do your face in this game. Anyway, so this roller derby chick is taking off her clothes to "That's Not My Name" and doing this to everybody in the audience, and it was and then she takes off her bra and goes "Psycho" and says the name of the roller derby group, and everybody cheered, and I was like, that was like the worst thing I'd ever seen. So I know what you mean. Like, some of these burlesque dancers are not trained, and it's not that sexy. A few of them in that routine were practiced and trained, and you could tell they had dance. But I get what you're saying with that, but
it's just
I
some
think these people
asshole
misunderstood
detracting from people that are actually putting time into a craft. Like, people, you know, these bands rehearse, they fucking try to put on the best show ever. Who the fuck wants some random just up there dancing on stage? Like, I don't.
You see, with what I want to do next, I want to create a new genre called Party Garage, where it's garage rock, but more on the party side. More 96 Tears, more, fun stuff. And and just be a party. Anybody can
Andrew
jump up on the stage.
WK meets the club kids.
Yeah, and then
I know Murphy's Law. They used to have everybody on stage.
Murphy's Law, Dropkick Murphys did that too.
Oh,
yeah,
That's different. That's like their fucking thing. It's like, I'm
well, you have a
cool
very
if-
specific distinction
Listen,
in all of this.
I'm cool if it's like I invite 9 people or 20 people on the stage to sing a song. That's me inviting those people on the stage. If some fucking asshole just comes up and tries to fucking sing, he's getting punched in the fucking face.
Right.
Fuck him.
Right,
Like,
shit.
I don't give a fuck. Get the fuck off my stage. Like,
Right.
you know, it's like my domain, man.
Right,
Like,
right,
you don't
right.
fuck with my shit. Get the fuck out of here. I don't
Yeah.
know who the fuck you are. If I
Right.
know who you are, it's like, oh, that's cool. That's my friend. You know, whatever.
Right.
Right, they're
Somebody,
yeah.
or I'm covering a band song, and one of those guys happens to be in the audience, and then I look to my left, and they're up on the stage. It's like, oh, that's cool. Like,
Right.
okay, that's what I wanted to happen. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I would hope that would happen.
I love when that happens.
You know what I mean? Like, but like, I don't want just some fucking. I don't want any random people. Even the time some fucking drunk, cracked out girl came up on stage and was like, "Oh, where's the bathroom?" And she just walked into a wall. I was like, "Hello, like, who? This ain't part of the show. Like, who the fuck is this? Like, get her the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I'm like, get the fuck out of here, lady." I'm like yelling at her. Like, I don't give a shit.
But anyway, my point is I want a spectacle, but I want it to be pre-planned and the people hired.
It's different.
Right.
But I think what the issue is the club didn't communicate with the bands, and the club established something, and the band. So there's probably a disconnect. And you should have had the option to say, no, I don't want this person dangling from the ceiling by her back.
I don't want a person hanging from her fucking skin. Okay, that's distracting.
But there are a lot of people who thought you were fat shaming with the 10 pounds of shit.
They
You
can
just
eat my
say
fucking ass. I don't give a shit.
half those people are not going to eat your ass. But I had, as a fat person, I had to call you out and figure out what was what. I didn't think you were, but that line did kind of seem.
No, that's like a metaphor for fucking anybody that really.
So I guess my asshole of the week is null and void, and I'm banned from the show.
I hope it's still me. To end
sure
on a
it's still
positive
you.
note. So yeah, you guys should go on. This is a segment we're gonna start every week. There's a thing called Tubi. That's like a free thing. You can fucking stream your movies to your TV,
Oh, yeah?
Chromecast, and all that.
Cool.
It's completely free. They have a ton of shit. So I'm gonna start doing a Tubi movie of the week.
Cool.
And I'll just tell the people to watch. And I would say definitely watch The Perfect Wife.
The Perfect Wife.
Put the subtitles on because you won't be able to hear the audio. And the plot is inane, but boy is it a treasure. And it has Omar Gooding, who was on Wild and Crazy Kids back in the day. Remember that?
Yeah, kinda.
Cuba Gooding Jr.'s brother.
Oh wow.
Omar Gooding is in it, so.
So it's the Gooding that hasn't been confused with.
It's the good
sexual
Gooding.
Yeah.
Hey, before we go, check out Billy's Midway Arcade in Hawthorne on Lafayette, right above Celtic Corner. Two of the guys who programmed Activision games are going to be there signing autographs, and I want to go talk to them. So I'm off on a Saturday for once, so I'm going to go thrifting. I'm going to go.
Grifton.
I'm going to go, Grifton with the. With the Activision guys. And then there's some kind of, band in the park of these guys I know from the open mics. They're called, Soul Train. No, Soul Release? I don't know, Soul something. But if you met these guys, they're all old white guys that are Republicans. There's no soul to it. They're good players, but,
Oh, that sounds like the soul band
Yeah, but I don't know why they call themselves Soul or Soul Survivor. I don't know.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to call every burlesque show in New Jersey and ask them to play the Clash Bar on Saturday night.
Okay. I see how it is.
What if Barbara Stanwyck? No way, she's probably dead and decrepit by now. No, who is?
Why don't you pick someone older? What if Barbara Steele showed up?
Yeah, Barbara Steele. You said you met her, right? She was hot back in the day.
She's a miserable old hack.
Yeah, she was really hot.
Yeah, well, you know what? So was my ex, but she's too going to be a miserable old hack someday. And that's when your soul counts. So, you could be as beautiful as you want, but I like to think about that every once in a while. It's just like, you know what? most of the hottest people in the world are fucking soulless cunts. Like the traditionally hottest people in the world.
But I thought you only fuck perfect tens.
But it's a perfect 10 in my heart. Sometimes my heart is wrong at the beginning because my penis is taking all the blood from it. But after a while, I know the truth.
Right.
And then I walk
Blood
away.
goes into the penis goes into the vagina.
And on that note, next week we'll tell you what happens after a penis goes into a vagina.
Our penis.
Peace.
Talking about fucking.
We hope you enjoyed our presentation of Cult of Contempt podcast. If you have any questions or comments, or want to hear your band on the show, just write us at cultofcontemptpodcast@gmail.com. If you'd like to see back episodes of the show, youtube.com/Plan10 Studios, cultofcontempt.org, or right here on Facebook, Cult of Contempt Network. Even check us out on Instagram at Cult of Contempt Podcast. You want to reach Paul? It's at Paul Mauld on Twitter and Instagram, and Paul of the Living Dead on Facebook.com. Phil Perry, the writer, on Instagram, and his Facebook fan page at Phil Perry, the writer. I'm Jim Cook at Jim Cook on Facebook, or Jim Cook Voice Actor on Facebook. You want to get a hold of me directly, jcookvoice at yahoo.com. On behalf of Paul and Phil, I want to thank you for listening. We'll see you next week at 8:15. I'm Jim Cook. Transmission out. Stand by for contact.